Welcome in, everybody. It's James again with another movie review. This time it's the movie Fall. Fall is classified as a thriller. The cast is Grace Caroline Curry as Becky, Virginia Gardner as Hunter, and also Jeffrey Dean Morgan, aka Negan from The Walking Dead, as Becky's father. The director is Scott Mann. After a terrible climbing accident, Becky suffered from depression.
I just want you to be able to move on with your life.
Then, coming up to a year in the accident, her best friend decides, hey, let's go for a climb to try to get her over the depression. Her plan was to go climb this B67 TV tower.
The B67 TV tower.
This TV tower is more than 2,000 feet. So, going into it, you see how she doesn't want to do it and how they go about trying to get there. They finally do get there and they start climbing.
This is sick.
So, things happen in the movie where, it starts to get scarier and scarier the higher you go up. And finally they get to the top, and from there things just get really complicated for them. Now, if you're scared of heights or you're scared of precipice, this movie is gonna have you on the edge of your seat. Because as for me, I'm okay with heights, but it's the precipice that bothers me. So like looking over a cliff or something.
Hey, trust me.
That scares me. So if you're scared of something like that, this movie's gonna have you, on the edge of your seat.
Oh my God,
It starts out exciting because of the accident that happens, but then it just builds up really boring. Even while they're climbing up to the tower, it's just two girls climbing up a tower. It's not anything too crazy. They leave little tidbits here of things that could go wrong or might go wrong. So you kind of have an idea of things that might go wrong, but you're not 100% sure. They still have you guessing. Now, what I enjoyed about this movie is that the third act of this movie just basically flips the whole movie on its head. What is that there's a couple people on top of a tower and they're going through basically a lot, and they're trying to get attention from people, but what they go through to try to get attention from people and what they do to try to survive is the biggest thing. This movie is more of what would you do if you're trying to survive? What are your limits? What is the last thing you would do basically to live? So I really enjoyed that about the movie. You put yourself in the place of those two girls. What would you do if you're that high? Would you try to continue living, or will you just stay there and die? It just depends on the person. It makes you think, what would you live for in the end? Going into the ratings, IMDb has this movie at a 6.5. You know what? I agree with that rating. I think it's a movie that is a little bit better than middle of the road, especially if you're terrified of precipice or heights. You're gonna be glued onto this movie, or some of you might not even look, just depending on you. Where if you're not scared of it, I don't think you'll like this movie as much, because the whole point, it just plays on your emotions of height or precipice. So it's like basically, it plays with your fears.
Okay, I'm gonna jump onto the bag. Hunter, no! Hunter!
Rotten Tomatoes has this one at a 71%. And the audience scores it at 85% as of right now. Now, again, I agree with Rotten Tomatoes. I think, they're spot on with this one. I do think it's it's a movie, you know, that's worth watching. I think you're gonna go if you're scared of heights and you're you know, there's really no horror movies anymore. But if you're scared of heights, you know, this movie will keep you entertained and will keep you like thinking, oh wow, you know, how can they get out of this? How what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next with them? The audience scores at 85%. Obviously, the rating is fewer than 50 people. Now, 85% I think is a little high, but you know, maybe they see it the same way as I do. I'm just thinking a family of 4, it might be a little bit too expensive to watch, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch. If you're not planning on going to the theaters and watching it, I would highly recommend trying to get it getting it on a streaming service or any type of place where you could see the movie. Obviously, the higher resolution, the better. And if you have like a surround sound or something, I definitely recommend watching it like that.
If you're scared of dying, don't be afraid to live.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the review. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's a new channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment. Tell me if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. And don't forget to subscribe. And as Jeffrey Dean Morgan always says, little pig, let me in.